actual commemorations of Black history. In 1925, when Dr. Carter G. Woodson planned the inaugural week-long observance of Black history, he could have hardly anticipated the imprint it would leave on the world. For our 100th theme, the founder of Black History Month urged us to explore the impact and meaning of Black history and life commemorations and transforming the status of Black peoples in the modern world. Year after year, Dr. Woodson built Negro History Week into African American and American cultural institution. He set the themes and provided materials to illustrate the contributions people of African descent had made through the movement of history and modern culture. As his contemporary E.W.B. Du Bois, he put it, he literally made this country recognize and celebrate each year in the week and study the effect which American Negro has had upon life, thought, and action in the United States. I know no other man who in this lifetime has unpaid build up such national celebration. On February 10, 1976, during the United States bicentennial, President Gerald R. Ford became the first president to issue a message about recognizing Black History Month. Then, in 1986, Congress passed a public law, 99-244, designating February as Black History Month. These efforts have made February the month when Black history finds its way not simply into the schools of the American nation. This year, we are also commemorating the 250th anniversary of the United States independence. It's also important to tell the full story. Black history isn't separate from American history, it's woven into it. And when we take the time to learn the full story, we don't just honor the past, we understand the present a little bit better. Sometimes Black history can feel distant, like something that happened somewhere else a long time ago. But it didn't. It happened here in towns like ours and in schools like ours. Here in Lebanon during World War II, before integration, Black soldiers from Fort Leonard Wood were searching for a site for the USO Club. After several attempts in other places, they located it in Lebanon. Following its closure, it became the W.C. Vernon Colored School until its closure upon integration of Lebanon schools in 1958. Black history is about remembering names, stories, and contributions. But it's also about listening, learning, and continuing the work of equity and understanding in our own time. We'd like to welcome to the podium Harmony Wade to share her experience as an African American woman growing up in Lebanon. Give her a round of applause.
Hello, I'm Harmony Wade, and this is me showing my love and appreciation for Black History Month. I've never really been the type of person to speak on Black History Month because I truly do believe that everybody matters, but I also know that not many people believe the same. People see Black History Month as a long period of time to just appreciate the people of color, but I see it on a different level than that. I've lived in Lebanon, Missouri almost my whole life, and I've always been an outgoing person. I feel like lots of people have always known my name. I lived in Springfield, Missouri for a few years in elementary, but came back here. And when I moved back to Lebanon, Missouri, I experienced a lot of bullying, not just about my skin tone, but about my hair, the way I talked, and the way I carried myself. This not only affected me as a child, but not being able to live with the person who I am today, and being scared of how other people thought of me still affects me to this day. I used to live my life coming home with my mom crying because somebody bullied me over something that I could not control. There was a lot of times that I told my mom that I wish I was just a normal skin tone. This eventually did stop going into middle school, but also changed the person who I was. I was very rude and very obnoxious and a very loud person because I thought that if people feared me, then I wouldn't have to fear the words that they were saying to and about me. Leading up to my freshman year of high school, I started to realize how much I really am hurting people mentally and physically with the way that I talk to them and speak to them. To this day, I am still scared to even change my hair because Mother Sunday doesn't like it. Even coming up here and speaking today about something that I've never spoken before in public, I am shaken with fear. I just hope that every one of you guys that are listening to my speech can understand how much words can really hurt someone. Not just one with a different skin tone, but everybody as a whole. This has such an effect on me to my life to this day that I'm even scared of wearing the wrong kind of shirt because of how people could think of me. Because at the end of the day, who cares what color you are? Who cares what style you like? Who cares what your favorite music and your favorite artist is? At the end of the day, we are all people and we will always be a person. Yes, people may not like it, and yes, some people may get offended, but all you can do is just love yourself for who you are and who you want to be. I am a junior now coming into my senior year of high school, and I have a great group of friends, and they are all amazing individuals. But I do see some people that I wish I didn't treat a certain way in the crowd, but because I was insecure from the words that other people were saying towards me. So this is my public apology to all that I've hurt with my words, and this is also me letting you know that you do matter no matter what. Thank you.
like to welcome to the podium our keynote speaker, Dr. Ashley Felton. She is currently an assistant principal at Central High School in Springfield, but before becoming a Bulldog, Dr. Felton taught English here at Lebanon High School. She was the 2017-2018 LHS Teacher of the Year. Please welcome Dr. Felton.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh man, none of these students were ever in my classroom, I can tell. So let's try again. Good morning. Hey, that's better. Thank you so much. So I used to start my classroom with that all the time and needed people to greet me, so I just wanted to bring that to you. Can we give yours? Love that. Can we please give your classmates another round of applause, please? Because it's very, very difficult to talk in front of anyone, especially your peers. So, very proud of you all. So, thank you. Thank you. All right. So, I was incredibly confused and humbled by the ask for me to speak at this year's Black History Month Assembly. You see, I'm no one special, but I will say this place, Lebanon High School, is special to me. I began my career in education 14 years ago, right here. My classroom was right next to Mrs. Littall's. I also had the pleasure of working with some of the most amazing teachers in this building and learned so much from all of them, which helped me grow into the educator I am today. Some of you may ask, if this place is so special, why did I leave? Well, it was time for me to continue to grow in my craft, and besides, I was getting to the point where I began to work with former students, like Coach Hicks. That didn't sit too well with me and started to make me feel old. I'm not old, by the way. Okay? But if you want stories of Coach Hicks as a high school sophomore, come see me after. When people hear the words Black History Month, a lot of the same names usually come up. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, maybe Harriet Tubman. And those names matter a lot. But today, I want us to think about Black history a little differently. As you already heard in speeches before me, February 1st, 2026 marked a milestone of both progress and persistence. The 100th anniversary of federal recognition of Black Americans with a dedicated month. Black history isn't just something that happened somewhere else, or a long time ago, or only in big cities. Black history is American history. And it's also Missouri history, including rural Missouri. Right here in our state, Black farmers helped build agricultural communities. Black railroad workers connected towns. Black teachers educated generations of students, often in schools with fewer resources, but just as much pride. These stories don't always make it into our textbooks, but they shape the places we live in today. Black History Month exists because for a long time, those stories were ignored, minimized, or erased. It's not about replacing anyone's history. It's about telling the whole story, and that story includes struggle, but it also includes creativity, leadership, humor, music, invention, resilience, and hope. Think about how much American culture comes from Black Americans. The music we listen to, whether it be hip-hop, rock, blues, jazz, country, all of it has Black roots. The phrases we use, the fashion trends, the athletes we cheer for, the movements that push this country closer to its promises of freedom and equality. But Black history isn't only about famous people or major moments. It's about everyday people who kept going when the system wasn't built for them. People who worked the land, raised families, started businesses, served in the military, and demanded to be treated with dignity, even when it was risky to do so. I grew up in Springfield, Missouri. It was not lost on me that I was often the only person who looked like me in my classes and other spaces that I chose to occupy, like the debate team. In fact, until middle school, you could count the number of Black students in my grade on one hand. Growing up looking differently than most of my close friends at times was difficult. Even the most well-intentioned friends would remind me that they did not see color. For a while, I appreciated that they did not care about my race, but they liked me for me. As I got older, I realized that I appreciated the sentiment, but not seeing color meant not truly seeing me. With age, I became more confident in who I was as a Black female. I wanted my close friends to understand that seeing me, all of me, meant seeing struggles and pain that I kept hidden. Seeing times that I was told I was so articulate or spoke well. Times that I walked into spaces where people who looked like me did not frequent and receive stares. Times when I had to be even better than my counterparts because I was already counted out. Or times that people wanted to touch my hair because it was cool. Seeing and supporting me meant all of me. Black History Month is more than a month to me. Black History is a reminder for me to take up space in a world that was not made for me to occupy some spaces. Black History is about building cultural competency, combating systemic issues, and developing the skills necessary to take up space in places where I may not fit, to be the light in spaces where darkness overtakes. This reminds me of the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Hate multiplies hate. Violence multiplies violence. And toughness multiplies toughness in a descending spiral of destruction. The chain reaction of evil, hate begetting hate, wars producing more wars, must be broken, or we shall be plunged into the dark abyss of annihilation. These words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. have always resonated with me. I constantly strive to be the light in whatever space I occupy. Black history is American history. It is the reason I am able to stand before you today. It is the reason I am able to have the accolades I can. It is the reason I am able to work at a school in which I work that was established in 1893 and did not allow people who even looked like me to attend at one time. It is because of the progress of the world and the persistence of people before me that I am who I am today. In this month of 100 years of officially celebrating Black History Month, may we remember the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. In every space that you take up, be that light. You don't have to live in a big city to matter. You don't have to be famous to make history. And you don't have to be perfect to make a difference. History is shaped by ordinary people who decide that what's happening around them isn't okay. Or it is okay and worth protecting, and they act. Black History Month isn't about guilt. It's not about blame. And it's definitely not about division. It's about understanding, because you can't move forward if you don't know where you've been. When you understand Black history, you better understand why some communities face the challenges today, why representation matters, why empathy matters, and why your voice matters. Every one of you is a part of the next chapter of history, whether you realize it or not. The way you treat people, the way you speak up or stay silent, the way you learn, listen, and lead. So as we recognize Black History Month, I challenge you to do three things. First, stay curious. Ask questions. Learn stories that weren't always told. Second, stay respectful. You don't have to share every experience to respect it. Third, stay open. Understanding someone else's history doesn't erase your own. It strengthens it. Black history is not separate from American history. It's not separate from Missouri history. And it's not separate from your future. Thank you.
We'd next like to welcome to the stage the Central High School Step Team. You might remember them from the 2023 Culture Fair. We're excited to have them with us today.
One man don't come out they fly. Come on, Marty. That's all right, so the head so sure. Yeah, straight bravo, all smooth, and you know this is gonna show.
Thank you, Dr. Felton and the Central High School SET team. We appreciate everybody learning and celebrating together today. Have a good day, everybody. Look.